Hi everyone, welcome back to this week Weekly Market Update. It's been a while since I did my last video update. I guess if I'm not wrong, should be around start of this year, 2026. But even though I'm not that active in my YouTube, but doesn't mean I'm not active in my Telegram group, right? I still posting my own stock analysis inside the Telegram group, especially as well. So let's take a look at what's happening for this week or last Friday closing and things to watch out for the coming week as well. So we can see that S&P closed lower, Nasdaq fall more than 1% as cheap stocks suffered. So actually, to be frank, right, even though my last posting is in the start of this year, it's been almost like 6 months, but we get to know that house market has been performing for the first half of 2026. Let's recap by using at the chart of the Nasdaq itself. As you can see from the chart itself, this black color, alright, horizontal and vertical line, this is where 2026 started. It had a very good run until end of June 2026. If we were not to catch the bottom just at the start of it to end of 2026, we are running almost close to 19 to 20% on the upside. Alright, that is a fantastic run for the first half of the year. Alright, if you are going to catch the bottom to all the way top, not really tip top, but all the way top, you're close to 30% returns. That is fantastic. But however, for the past few weeks, we can witness that Nasdaq is not performing well. It has been dropping for the past few weeks. It just simply dipped. But I can see that in working in this line, I can see that most of the customer actually their portfolio got suffered by then. Why is that so? Shouldn't be you're enjoying the whole huge profit and just a little bit of dip over here? And what causes this dip? Let's revisit on the news itself. So we can see that the the counter that actually hit or the industry that actually hit the most is actually the semiconductor. Alright, we can see that it's a third weekly decline in the fourth week, dropping almost 9%. Right, so semiconductor were hit especially hard. One of the reasons is because this Chinese startup Moonshot AI, alright, unveiled a new model say that it narrowed the gap with the top offering in US. So what does it mean? So this Chinese AI, right, it level up and brought renewed focus on the open weight of model shift. So basically, they have this new model called Kimi K3. All right, they used to compare the Claude, the GTP, the GPT, the OpenAI, the Anthropic, everything. So as you can see from this diagram, all right, you can see this is Kimi. All right, it moved from the bottom to the top, rank 3, just way behind Claude and ChatGPT. So this resulted what happened that people start to questions, all right, start to questions those companies that heavily throw investment to AI, asking to see what is the return from there. As we know that investment in AI, doing R&D research and development is AI, it costs a lot of expenses over there. All right, so people start to be the end user demand for AI become more price sensitive and markets start to penalize companies. They are ramping spending too aggressively. All right, so they want to see return right now instead, not just we are going for AI, we will spend more resources on AI. This is just building a dream. They want to see the result right now, and that is why it caused most of the AI related, chip related, semiconductor related company to drop for the past few weeks. I believe simply enough to say a few counter, Micron, SanDisk, a lot, way a lot. But when it go even higher and higher and higher, all right, simply to say, I just basically pull one out, Micron. When it has been jumping, can you see? All right, since the start of 2026, even from $340 to 1,200, that is like fourfold. Like you 300,000 that is like 4 times. What else more do you expect, really? What else more do you expect? Can you see? It's like 200, 300%. You get what I'm trying to say? And it just simply a few dip over here, 30% dip, and people start to complain or people start to kill their own portfolio or their portfolio got killed. Is it because greed? Or is it because you think the market is too good that it will only go one directions? All right, so something to think about it, whether did we do our portfolio management correctly? That is one thing to go. Not only on that, we can see that Netflix has their earnings report and the market dropped 7%. So I think it's the forecast failed to ease the investor concern, but it doesn't mean Netflix earnings turn bad. It's still not bad, but doesn't meet the expectations from the crowd itself. To me, this drop may not be bad. Alright, it may be a good entry price to enter as well. We can revisit to the chart later together. All right, definitely oil is the next thing. We know that the US-Iran war is back. Oil price is raising once again and again. So I'm not sure over here how many of you actually caught that. All right, so let's take a look what's to watch out for the coming week. For the coming week, here is the earnings report. All right, US companies start to have launched their earnings report. So a lot of people will be paying attention on the Wednesday itself. Basically, after the market Wednesday, Tesla will be reporting their earning. Alphabet will be reporting their earnings. Then there are IBM, which dropped, 20, 30, 10 to 20%, if I'm not wrong, recently. Then people will also pay attention to GE Vernova, something similar to uh, this Bloom Energy related to energy itself. I think they are trending quite nice on the upside. So just be aware, earnings report coming up for this week. The big company, Alphabet, people will be paying attention to it as well. All right, so let's go into the index and walk you through things to watch out for. So we start off with Wall Street. All right, we start off with Wall Street. We can see the market has been trending very well since March, where is the Liberation Day, right? All right, then the market dropped, if I'm not wrong. Is it here or here? I can't remember. All right, anyway, the market dropped, we bounced back. So it has been a good run since then, upside around 17, 18%. So right now, market have some downside move for the past few weeks. All right, by right, down is been trending well, has been quite resilient of coming down. What pull it down may be due to Nasdaq instead. All right, because Nasdaq has been dropping and dropping. All right, has been dropping and dropping, even though Dow Jones has been trying to hold their fort, hold their support. But as long as Nasdaq keep giving way, it may pull the whole US industry or the whole US index to go on the bearish mode as well. Right, so for Dow Jones, people who are trading it, all right, or investing on it, just be cautious. Right now, it's still trending or well supported by the 20 days moving average, but the RSI is clicking up, aiming downside. Okay, so it didn't break the previous high, as you can see. All right, it didn't break the previous highs. Right now, we are trending on the sideways market. Hopefully, this round figure 52,000 don't give way. So if it give way, then we may see the next support around here. Let's take a look. All right, round figure 52K. Hopefully, it'll give way, as you can see. Well supported a few times. Try to give way last week, touch, and then it come back again. All right, so if it give way, which right now is somehow below a 20 days, slightly below, we shall see what happen on this coming Monday open. Of course, earning reports play an important role as well. So it's well supported by 52,000. Once it give way, we may see more downside. All right, so a lot of people believe this thing called mirror image. So we can see since February 2026 of this downside, what happened if it repeat once again? So from 2026 all the way down, it's only 10% correction, right? Not even like the 20% enter into the bear market yet. It's just correction only. But if we go to mirror image back, all right, 10% down is somehow 200 days support bleach, and then will it come back above 200 days? We shall see from there. But what I'm trying to say, it may have some chance if Nasdaq side continue to drop, they may give way, and we are looking for individual support until the mirror image around 50 or 48,000. But before we go into that, we shall see the first support level around here. All right, the 50,000 round figure benchmark as well. Okay, so right, this is what I will be looking if 152,000 give way. Okay, so not only on that, let's take a look at Russell, the small cap. Okay, actually the small cap have more confusion. Firstly, why is that so? Because you have this thing called a bearish divergence that's forming. If you realize, it has been going trending higher nicely, parallel, am I right to say? But then, if you realize, okay, if you realize, right now it's still trending well, but if the whole major index give way, I don't think Russell will be spared as well. All right, small cap 2000. So monitor carefully. If you hold any of the counter, just be aware of that as well. Okay, next we go into few counter or few commodity as well. Firstly, we go into gold. Okay, go. Go. All right, gold futures. Okay, gold futures. So we can see that gold futures has been trading and flirting around this major figure of 4,000. All right, the round figure has been trading up, touch, resistance support go up, resistance support go up, break, slightly break, and trade above. It has been flirting 4,000 many times. Okay, monitor it closely. Monitor it closely. If it's more downside on the index, people may shift their funds to the safe havens into gold. But of course, recently the correlationship between gold and index is kind of like correlated. What do I mean by that? When the market drop, the gold drop. But it shouldn't be in this way. So monitor 4,000 carefully. If it really give way and show a red candle, all right, then we just follow the trend and continue. But if let's say it can uncurve and go back to 20 days, then we may see more upside from here. Okay, so monitor 4,000 as the round figure carefully over here. All right, so we go into Hang Seng Index. We know that Hang Seng Index has been performing quite well for the last few days or even 1 to 2 weeks. All right, but just to watch out on something as well. That is what I spot today. So you can see that it has been trending. Let me just hide my moving average. Just purely on one line, we can see that the market has been well supported since January. Well supported, and then it comes to this part where it break. So this can be a support level. Alright, this can be a support level. The first support level give way, which is the horizontal line. Second, the ascending line also give way. Right now, where are we? Which is support, turn, resistance. So this round figure 25,000 is very crucial. Monitor it carefully. We shall see whether 25,000 give way or not. Right, 25,000 give way or not. Okay, otherwise, this is a well resistant level. We may consider to bias on the downside from here onwards. Okay, from here onwards. 25,000 is the resistance level. Of course, if you're smart enough, you won't put your stop loss at 25,000, right? All right, 25,000. So where do you put your stop loss? It's your up to individual risk management. Okay, so we shall see whether is this the kickstart of the support and resistance and resume the downside. So be careful if you hold on to any Hong Kong shares. So let's go into individual shares. Firstly, SpaceX. I know people would like to be part of the SpaceX. All right, would like to be part of the SpaceX share investor. Okay, so let me show you SpaceX. Okay, do take note, I have no clue what will be happening to SpaceX, but I just let you or highlight to you, SpaceX traded for the past 2 days below the IPO price right now, 135. All right, reason is because this is all the dream. All right, this part is all the dream. People like to be, part of the SpaceX. Everyone going to the IPO. This is the realistic right now. All right, the realistic. What do I mean? People want to see your company is making money or not. All right, not just talk on the paper. All right, not just talk on the paper. They want to see money coming in. Ultimately, SpaceX is not making money still, right? So if I'm not wrong, all right, can correct me or you can if you know how to do your own analysis. But I just want to say that it's below the IPO price. So do pay attention on that. Okay, so back to that, why I talk about SpaceX, I think it's because somehow related to Tesla. I think if I'm not wrong, there's something on Tesla as well. Not sure it's the earning or it's the chart. Let me look into. Oh yeah, Tesla there's earning. So Tesla has a good support area right now. I mean, why do I say that? And why do I mention Tesla? Because both is under Elon Musk, right? As you can see. So on weekly chart, we can see that Tesla is well supported as well, right? But it's getting very narrow. It's getting very narrow. Okay, and it's only very narrow to either side, and there is earning upcoming. So one side give way, then we may continue to follow the trend from there. Okay, so be careful if you hold on to any Tesla stock as well. All right, so let's look into a few more. All right, before we conclude, let's look into a few more. All right, I think in my Telegram group, I did mention one of the stock, which is Madonna. Why do I choose Madonna back then? All right, of course, beside I see some, I think when I recommend at the point of time, it's not showing these two candles yet. All right, I see some engulfing candle over here. I see a bullish divergence over here. I say the support is at 260. So I'm not sure how many of you still holding. All right, like to me, I won't pre-cut. I will still respect my stop loss at 260. But the good thing is that why I recommend uh, McDonald, because I don't want you to over heavy on one of the industry sector. I believe your portfolio definitely contains industry, semiconductor as well, right? Technology industry. So going to unrelated to technology, those traditional stocks that non-related to AI may be more awarding or maybe more risk adverse by then. We can see the market has been dropping, but Madonna for the past few days has been trending just sideways, waiting for the overall market maybe to catch up. Then it may perform from here. All right. So that is what I'm looking at as well. Why do I say that? As you can see, what happened to Apple? You know, Nvidia has been the most expensive market cap company, right? But Apple recently caught back, right? Chased back. You have one point at the time when it's at all-time high, it win back Nvidia in terms of market cap. So you must be thinking, hey, how come most of the technology like Alphabet, uh, Nvidia, Micron, they are all dropping, but why is Apple going up? I think it's because Apple didn't really consider part of the chips, but their earnings, their products, their cash flow is all fantastic, and that is why I keep emphasize, especially when the new CEO take over Apple. So you ask me where to enter Apple right now, which is at all-time high. I said, why not wait for those has been badly burned, like those semiconductor, and pick those strong stock from there instead. So if you like to go into previously, if you couldn't find any opportunity in those big counter like Nvidia or AMD, this kind of company, and you enter into those side company, all right, like SanDisk, Nokia, Micron, Marvels, this kind of company, right? Please be aware when the big brother got suffered, those mid company may get even worse. All right, so when the market turns, the first to run may be this big company as well. All right, so right now, if the market continue to go deep, we may want to watch this, put your money in the sideline first, wait for those good company, blue chip to dip further, and you buy it at the discount level. How do we determine discount level? You can use a few ways like RSI oversold situations or based on any support and resistance. Alright, so that's all for my update on this week. Hopefully you guys pay attention on the index itself. Pay attention to the goal at 4,000. Is there any chance for you to buy at the round figure 4? And then we shall continue, and hopefully I have time to make the next weekly market update video in the next following week as well. That's all. Take care everyone. Goodbye.